Hello Ratbags, it's Jade Plays Games. Welcome back to another mod spotlight. Today we're taking a quick glance at Survival Plus, one of the major mods in the sponsored mod program, hopefully coming very soon. In the background you can see just a little trailer just to remind you of some of the more of the advanced features. We're not going to get that far today. It is extremely grindy. If you really want something to sink your teeth into, something a bit different and a bit more, you know, really working for the tools, really working for the items that you're making, then this mod is for you. Now sometimes these mods can be grindy for the sake of it, but there is lots to offer here in this mod. So far I've been playing around with it for about 2 weeks now. I have lost a lot of footage I had recorded of it, so I'm showing you some bits and bobs in a second, but it definitely rewards you. There's lots of different items you can get, there's so many different types of building materials, and there's so many different ways to play. What I love about this, it really is a mod. A mod is a modification of a current game. It changes that game. Sometimes they can be slight, sometimes they can be huge. I like this mod. It really feels like they have modified a lot. You know, everything is kind of a bit more drawn out and a bit longer, and it makes a bit more sense in almost a real world setting. You have job roles, which I'm going to go through everything here just to give you a quick heads up on Survival Plus. So where do we actually start on Survival Plus? Well, you have to choose your role. There are currently quite a few there, and they're working on more, I do believe, or refining what you can do. You can be a carpenter, you can be a farmer, you can be a blacksmith, you can be all sorts of job roles. And once you progress in that job role, you can become advanced. So you can become eventually a master sort of apprentice, no, a master carpenter, etc. There's quite a few job roles you can choose, and that's what you spend the bulk of your engram points on. After that, it's got a usual mix of different items in the engrams list, but this is just the start. There's not that actual many engrams to unlock. Where you unlock the majority of the resources, tools, weapons, brand new building materials is in the workbenches themselves once you make them. They've got some interesting things like the copper pickaxe and the copper tool set, loads of different types of workbenches, and you will need them if you're gonna make your living out of that career. It's a very multiplayer minded mod. It's definitely got that in mind to play with other people. There's even an economy system in it where you can actually have currency. I'm going to show you the coin later on, but you can see here again, I'm just going through some more of the job roles. Like I said, you've got blacksmith, you've got a mason. It does look like they're going to add like tailor as well. Some of them aren't necessarily working just yet, I don't think, and obviously some of the higher levels aren't working just yet. So what you'll be doing is obviously gathering lots of resources just like you normally would, but even the resource gathering has changed slightly. You don't just get fibre, you get actual fibre strands, and then you have to make stuff out of it, or plant strands, and these plant strands then become something. And it sometimes feels a little bit grindy. Like I said, it does seem like an extra unnecessary step, but when you see how much you can unlock with that material, it becomes a bit more apparent of why they've done it. Games, like I said earlier, grinding away is really good for some people. Some people really enjoy it. I'm not necessarily a grinder, and things that normally stop me from making stuff I don't really enjoy that much, but this mod did get me hooked for a bit. I was thinking about how I'm going to make some of these tools. I wanted to unlock as many of them as I could, obviously shown the preview, and it was quite hard unlocking some of these. So if you're looking for a challenge, this is definitely the one for you. You can see here again, I'm just going over some of the workbenches and some of the items and tools. There's all sorts of things in these. The resources get broken down into sort of components, and these components are what you're going to be utilising even more. So I'm just placing some of the workbenches down there. We've got a pottery wheel, we've got a wood chopping block, just showing you a little chest as well, so we can put some bits and bobs in. There is going to be real difference with the rest of the game. Dinosaurs are kind of untameable. I've said this before in a small spotlight. You can only tame up to like a parasaur maybe. Other than that, some of the largest dinosaurs are incredibly hard. You won't be able to tame them. Only small dinosaurs, smaller than a parasaur, I do believe. They may have changes, they may do something a bit different with that in future, but that was the original premise when I first saw it. It said that they weren't going to have all the dinosaurs as tameable. They wanted it to be about survival. So survival is building up and being more about gathering resources, becoming a profession, selling the stuff that you're making and being part of a community, and that's what they had in mind for this mod. Be interesting to see the PvP. I've gone through quite a lot of the codes for it, and there are some PvP sort of items. There's ballista turrets or ballistas and stuff like that, but not a huge amount. So I don't think it's necessarily the best PvP mod, certainly not, but definitely for PvE where you're looking for that job role, it could be really good. They may have changes in, you know, things going on for PvP in the future, but at the moment as it stands, it's more of a PvE game. What you're looking at here is the wood chopping board. So to even make some wooden planks, you're going to need a saw. Obviously it's no good just having a wooden block, so you need to make the wooden saw first and you pop it in. Obviously wooden saws do become overused and they'll break, and you have to either repair it or make new ones, and again it just adds that extra level of complexity. That's what I really liked. It's not just for the sake of it, it makes sense. You can't just chop wood with your bare hands, you're gonna need an actual proper tool like a saw, and that I really liked. I really enjoyed that. You can make all different types of wooden planks and stuff like that. Depending on what role it is though, I think some of them are going to be locked behind what you choose. So I think I chose the carpenter here because it had 3 levels unlocked. But I think if you choose like a blacksmith or someone else, you may not be able to make the same items. Now these might be pretty basic, the boards, but later on when I was looking again through the codes, there were lots of items that said it was just tied to being a blacksmith or just tied to being a carpenter. So it will be interesting to see how that works on a single player world. You may have to do something like give engrams, or you know, just I guess respec your points maybe as well, so that you can experience some of the other professions, because that's what they are professions. So after that I started looking at some more of the crafting benches, and I'm going to show you the anvil next. Now just like I told you, because you're tied to certain roles, I don't think you can unlock a lot of the stuff. So looking in the actual crafting menu for the anvil, there wasn't that much. We had the pot here, and I think there's a few more bits and bobs, but nothing massively what you would expect. Obviously when you've got that profession, you are going to be able to make and craft a lot more. There's so many items. I've gone through the list and I was going to show you the big list that I found for the ID codes. I did spawn a lot of this stuff in after about an hour, because I found the grind just crazy and I wanted it to be a spotlight rather than a let's play video. If you guys would like me to do a let's play video on this, if this gets a lot of support and a lot of likes, I would think about it definitely. There's still quite a few issues with it. It's still only like, I don't think like 70%, 80% there. They have got ideas about making it finalised for June, but then they will be adding more stuff to it afterwards. They will be keeping it updated. But when I spoke to Teo, one of the lead creators of it, he said that they're trying to get it done for June. That's the idea. What I'm looking at now is the tailoring. So you have to put cloth in, and that's how you make your armors. So again, all makes very much sense. That was the loom. Then we've got some different crafting benches. This is just like the basic sort of workbench. Don't make much. Again, it's all about crafting more workbenches, and these workbenches are all tied to professions. So there's lots and lots of different ones there. I'm going to put them all out and show you exactly what they all look like. I didn't get enough chance to go through every single one of them, but it's the completionist. If you like playing with all different types of resources and building materials and that grind, you are going to love this mod. I think if you're someone that just enjoys the mix or likes hunting dinosaurs or taming stuff, it's probably not going to be the mod for you. But definitely if you like getting involved in that type of aspect of stuff, this mod is a really good mod. So I'm just placing everything here. We've got the alchemist table, so you can be an alchemist. And the alchemist, later on I'm going to show you a couple of the ingredients. So many ingredients. It's like being a witch, talking about like dinosaur eyes. I'm sure I saw something like a direwolf bladder or something like that, where you have to just make all sorts of things. And we've got the blacksmith table, the tailor's table. Again, I think some of them will need a little bit more work to make them stand out from each other, especially like the tailor's table there. You can see it's quite plain, but some of the others look pretty cool. We've got the farmer's table there. I'm just scrolling through them all to show you guys, give you an idea of what they will look like, how they're going to actually work. We're going to take a look in some of the inventories as well. So with the economy system, you are going to be able to sell your stuff, but how are you going to do it? Well, you're going to have stalls, and again, every profession seems to have its own stall. There's different types of stalls that you can place. I don't know exactly how it works yet. I tried to put stuff in it and see how I could buy it. I don't know if it was because I was trying to buy my own stuff, it wasn't working, but obviously, again, it will probably be more refined once it actually goes, you know, live, or has added a bit more work to it, or if I actually start playing it multiplayer. I've seen Syntac play it a little bit. I watched him for about 10 minutes of one episode, and he was playing it with some friends, I think, and that is definitely a good idea. If you can play this with friends, that is the one. When it comes to console, we don't know. I did ask Teo, or I read somewhere, or maybe someone else asked him on Twitter, and he just said that he doesn't know yet. He'd have to speak to Wildcard. Obviously, the modders would love it to be on console because it means it's reaching more people, but ultimately it may have an impact on the main game, and some of these big mods, it's almost like a total conversion mod, may have issues running, you know, properly with a console version of it. So we'll have to wait and see. Fingers crossed, guys, it will come. So after that, looking at all the sort of workbenches, I started looking at some more of the resources, and I worked out how to spawn in a blacksmith shop. This is pre-built, and this is another aspect I really like about Survival Plus, is that you can have pre-built structures. You've got a different building mechanic entirely, where you have to actually add the resources and it builds it up gradually, but this was a blacksmith's hut or building, and it's really cool. I really like this aspect. If you're not a builder, you just want the grind, you want to have the resources, and you kind of want to just have that roleplay experience, this is perfect for you, just to build something like this or have it so it's already made. I presume this is going to be the way forward. I know Teo's working with the implementation, which I'm going to show you a bit later on, of building it gradually, so I don't know if it's definitely going to be just prefab buildings like this. Maybe they'll adjust it and make everything gradually building. We'll have to wait and see. But each profession had different houses or different structures they could make, and again, it's just so cool to have that widening of opportunity to make stuff and make that roleplay experience where you are, you know, that profession, and only you can make them items. So, as ever, I'm a PC noob. When I went to load up another mod, I accidentally deleted it again, just like Castles, Forts and Keeps. What you're looking at there is one of the actual pre-built structures, a barn. So I had to get all these brand new items. I lost all my workbench, which was a shame, because I really wanted to show it next to it all and see what's going on. There was a test code for spawning in dinosaurs, and it spawned in iguanodons for some reason. What I'm showing you now is the other structures though. We've got the windmill, and this is probably the most famous from the trailer. You can see it's functioning, it's walking around. I don't know if it actually does anything yet. I tried looking in the inventory to see, and there wasn't no sort of option to interact with it or put any items in it. That would be really cool if it ends up being a working item. Now these ones, they look like something a player would build. They are just prefab, pre-made. I didn't make these, they were already in the code. This one has obviously got snow on it, so it could fit the setting a little bit more, and these are very basic. You can make these yourself. Obviously, you're looking at the building materials, you can clearly see it is just wood and thatch, whereas some of these ones, now this one was a dodo coop, just like a chicken coop. You would keep your dodos in here, and I presume get eggs from them and stuff like that, and again, it just adds something a little bit different for that farming sort of, you know, ancient lifestyle. Now these are the working building ones, where you have to add resources to them and they will build up eventually. And you can see here the first stage is telling you what you need on the right hand side. I think it's saying wooden planks or plaster, etc. I put all three of these out, and you can see there's all different sizes. Each one has different items it needs. Some of them are cottages, some of them are shops. And you know, it's just the first layer, so when you get these items, you're only building up that first layer. I'm showing you the stall again as well, and this is like when I was trying to see if I could sell anything, and then when I went back into it, it just wasn't working. But I like it, I like the look of it. It just adds a bit of life and colour to it. Be cool if you could actually show your items on a stall when you put them in there. Here I am giving it a go. I build up the first layer, I put some planks in it, then after that we have to build up the second layer. And so the second layer needed, what did it need? I think it was wooden beams or something like that. Yeah, it was the windows as well. So the windows was going well. I managed to find the code, and I spawned in like 100 of them. The frames were good, but when I got to the screens, I needed the window screens. It wasn't working. The window screens item just would not actually move over. I spawned it in, but I just could not get over, which was a real shame. I really wanted to show one being completely built, but I'd run out of time to actually do it on the other ones as well, and I was worried that they'd have the same problem. I'm sure it's been worked on. I know it's only just been worked on just now, so they will happen. What I'm now going to give you a glimpse of is the armour. Now it looks pretty basic, it's just gold painted, maybe a few scratches or weathered on it and stuff, but you can see the copper weapons as well. It just adds a bit of variety, I guess, and again, you need to be a specific class to make some of these. This is the alchemy ingredients I was telling you about. So you've got different things in the seeds, you've got different bottles that you have to make, and they're again resource holders that you have to make potions out of. So I really like that idea of being like a magician or sorcerer, or you know, someone that makes healing balms. You can make poison, so there's the poison spike, and then we've got just normal sort of items like chains and fences and saddle maker. That's what you need first before you can make any saddles. And then we've got some resources like carpet, and again some of the other building materials. You can see as well we've also got the gold coins on the left hand side there. There is currency, gold and silver, like I said, and it will be a case of you, I think you start out when you spawn in the world. I did start out with some currency, and the idea is that you maybe would start out on a normal server, an official server, or you know, a non-official server, and you would head to the nearest town so that you could start your life, choose a profession and start contributing to the economy and selling your stuff. That is some deep roleplay stuff that I've just not seen enough of on ARK. So lots of good stuff for this mod. Really enjoyed it. Didn't get much a chance to show you more of the completed buildings and stuff like I wanted to, literally because like I said, I'm a noob and I deleted most of my work that I'd already done. But if you guys would really like me to see this, let me know in the comments section. Hit that up with a like and I'll revisit them. I'm taking a look at every sponsored mod, so give these playlists a really good look. Go and take a look at some of the other ones. I'm Jade Plays Games. I'll see you later. Bye bye.